Well, welcome and thank you for stopping by. And it's getting really scary out there when we look at the prices of how much everything is costing and the shortages that they say are going to happen, and then all the recalls and it's just, it's scary. It really is. It's nerve wracking to think of, well, what are we going to do in the future if this keeps up? And so it brings me back to the simpler way of how my family cooks. Yeah, I can cook a lot of different foods. I really can. But it can also be very expensive. There was a reason behind our ancestors of them cooking the same basic foods all the time. It was cheaper. Didn't have to have as many ingredients on hand. And I'm going to show you their recipe of how they made chicken. And I can tell you this is absolutely delicious. It's the best chicken I've ever eaten. And what they do is they would cut up a whole chicken, but I'm not going to do that because I just buy chicken leg quarters because it's what I can find cheap. In a bag, I'll put a cup of flour and a cup of cornmeal. You could use a half a cup each. Salt and pepper to taste, and that is it. Then I will take the chicken leg quarters, put them in the bag, coat them. I put no egg, no milk, no nothing. I have olive oil in this pan, and I will put all this chicken into this pan. I've already started it, it's a little bit on the hot side. And that's what I'm going to do. I will put all this chicken in here and start to cook it. Now I have my burner on medium heat. I don't want to cook it on high. You could cook it even on low if you want. And here we go. We got this chicken in here tight. But we put it in there. It's 3 legs and 3 sides. And we're just going to let it slowly cook. It's on about medium, maybe low heat. You don't want to cook it too fast. You want to cook low and slow. We'll come back in a little bit later. Now here we go. It's getting there. Slow, easy, but delicious. Like my grandmother said, you don't need to be running around spending all kinds of money to make fried chicken and spending hours in it marinating in buttermilk. Just flour, cornmeal, salt, and pepper. She said, just the basics, really. That's what she would tell me. Stick to the basics. Okay, now look at this. Look how crispy and brown this chicken is. I mean, this is absolutely delicious. It really, I can't express just how good this really tastes. Now, here we go. Perfect. Look at the black-eyed peas, zucchini, piece of bread, and piece of chicken. Now, you can do just like my grandmother and my mother used to do. They would buy a couple of bags of beans, cook on the weekend, black-eyed peas, white beans. Sometimes it might be a different bean besides that. And they would put the beans in the refrigerator, and they'd come home and they just heat it up after they cooked whatever meat it might be, whatever turnip green, mustard green might be. They would just heat the beans up and a little bit of cornbread. And they did not have to spend a whole lot of money on groceries like we end up doing today because they just basically repeated the same dinner, except it might be a different meat and it might be a different green. Well, I hope you will try this chicken this way because it is lip-smacking delicious.